I am now live. Y'all are coming. Hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Today we have a lot to talk about. You're so lucky to have me. It's my favorite mug. Hi. This is a new look. Yes, on Instagram for sure. Not me. This is my same old look. So good. So good. Okay. Today we have a lot to talk about. We are talking about snake medicine. We are talking about the energy of transformation. We are talking about python snake transformation oil, which I am so proud. It is the most powerful potion I have made so far in my life, and so I believe that this is one that I will make again and again and again. I woke up this morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning and started like just taking notes. And over the last kind of week, I've been like almost there's been like a little paralysis almost. And I know everybody's been feeling it. And I was just kind of like, let me like use my tools, let me break out, kind of the thing. And then I woke up this morning, like revved, like momentum, like ready to go. And I was like, Crystal, you poured all that snake oil last night. And, when you pour intention into something, guess what? It does what you ask it to do. So what is snake medicine? Okay. This is what we're talking about. Snake medicine. And you hear it. I mean, you see kind of the thing, and it's not really one specific thing. Like snake medicine isn't necessarily a thing or like a set of ingredients that make snake medicine. Snake medicine is more of like an energy that is embodied. And so here is like the description of those energies. Okay. It's the transcendence of personal pain. Snake medicine. Snake medicine, the overarching umbrella theme of snake medicine is that the venom is often what creates the antidote, right? The loaded thing right now we're talking about, but like the vaccine is oftentimes made from a little bit of the pathogen, right? That some environments are, incredibly toxic, but the snake medicine, the magic of it is that we learn to navigate within that toxicity and even use the toxicity to our benefit so that we no longer allow the toxicity in our environments to constrict us, but we take what we learn, take the people that we become out of those environments and transcend them and move within them. That is the energy of snake medicine. The energy of snake medicine is that no matter what has kind of come at me, happened to me, the toxicity, I am able to take that venom and use it as my own antidote. That's what makes snake medicine, snake magic so transformational, okay? So it is the transcending of personal pain. It's a sense of security in the midst of instability. It's being able to own a sense of security in the midst of instability. It's learning how to renew without having to replace. Which is a crazy kind of thought, idea, paradigm in our cancel culture, right? Like we don't teach ourselves how to renew without replacing anymore. We don't teach ourselves how to work within kind of what we have to improve it and make it better. Is that always the answer? No, that's not always the answer, but sometimes it is. And we have to learn how to navigate that, how to have those skills. So it is that energy, embodying that energy. It is shedding the illusion of limitation. Shedding the illusion of limitation. Let me tell you, I'm sitting here right now as like a Black woman in America. So there are such things as real limitations. Like I'm not sitting here like trying to cancel the real things that feel constricting to us in our lives. But what I am saying is we can shed pieces of how we allow those limitations to affect us. And then it becomes just more of an illusion than an actual limitation, just from the power of our belief. Okay. Snake medicine is unlocking and embracing energy that is your birthright. So a lot of times you'll think about Kundalini. Kundalini energy is represented as a snake at the base of the spine that winds up your chakras and unlocks your personal power and your potentiality for personal power. Snake medicine is about that. Snake medicine is about igniting personal power from the bottom up, right? Regardless of the toxicity of the environment, and igniting the personal power that you have. That is snake medicine, snake energy. The snake totem all embodies that energy. My definition is the magical understanding and embracing of the fact that some of the venom is often a key element of the antidote. So I said that already because I say that all the time. The venom and the antidote a lot of times is the same thing. It's the same thing. The thing that has made me so joyful is the despair that I've lived through. The thing that has made you feel like people say, oh gosh, Crystal, I just feel like you accept me like without judgment. It's because I have lived not feeling accepted without judgment. I have lived with voices in my head that didn't accept me. And I had to negotiate how to accept myself with those voices, and I know many of us do. And so a lot of times the venom is what makes you who you are. The venom is what makes you magic and magnetic, and embracing that is how we release what constricts us and move forward. Okay. Snakes are associated with healing and medicine, so we'll talk about that. The rod of Asclepius, the two snakes intertwined with the staff that we see in medicine. So understanding that snake energy is a representative of healing throughout Greek mythology, and also like adopted by healthcare even up to today. We see that image and we know we're talking about health healing. The main association of snake medicine is an ability of the snake to shed as it grows. Right? So a key element of the potion that we are going to be working with is a piece of the shed of our gorgeous python, right? A piece of the shed. This ability to shed your old skin, shed the old you as you grow into the new you, releasing what is holding you too tight, what's old and what's dry and what's not supporting you, and moving incrementally into what is, into like the newness of who you are. Like that is a big part of the snake medicine. Somebody says, woo, snakes. Yep, that's what we talk about today, snakes. Okay. I'm going to repeat what Source said yesterday, that your humanity will always be too tight. It blew my mind, but there's no such thing as comfort. Nobody is comfortable in their humanity. There are people who are better than others at taking comfort in the elements of your humanity, but your humanity will always be too tight for your divinity. You'll always feel that squeeze. It's a part of the experience. You'll always feel like too much and not enough, because your humanity is aware of your divinity and your divinity is aware of your humanity. There's always that sense of push pull of all that you are with what you've decided to be during this human experience in this container. So this idea that we have, that we will do, we will be, we will become when we are comfortable, that if we do XYZ, we will be comfortable enough to, it's all a myth. You'll never be comfortable in your humanity, but you can take comfort in elements of it. You can take joy in elements of it. You can take rest, and that's really delicious. It's like that movie Soul when 22 got to eat the pizza. It was like, that's taking comfort in your humanity, getting to eat the pizza and relishing in those moments. So that was a little bit of a tangent off my notes, but I had to say it, okay? The practice is to shed the old energy that doesn't serve you as you grow, and to expect to have to. To expect to have to shed the old energy that doesn't serve you as you grow. I don't know that we expect it, y'all. I think when we're like, oh no, I've got to release things, This doesn't serve me anymore. We feel like if we when we find ourselves in a place that's not quite right for us, or a relationship that's not quite right for us, or a job that's not quite right anymore, or eating certain things that are not quite right, we feel like we are there because we did something wrong. And it is not evidence that you have done something wrong. It is evidence of your growth. If you find yourself in a place, if you look around and you find yourself in a place that no longer serves you, it is not evidence of a misstep. It is evidence of growth. It is evidence of growth. And so I think a lot of times we're scared to release where we are because we're like, oh no, if this was a wrong decision, then the next decision that I make, how do I know it's the right decision? When in actuality, that was the right decision because it grew you to where you are. And so you know the next decision you make is going to be the next decision that will grow you. Right? Not evidence of a misstep. It's evidence of growth. If you find yourself needing to make a change, if you find yourself feeling too tight or constricted in whatever situation you're in, that's amazing. Like, let me off the hook big time. Big time. Because the choices that you made that put you in the situation that you're in, that you're letting go right now, was the correct choice for the person that you were then. And it was the correct choice for the person that you were then because it grew you into the person you are now. And you make the right choices to grow into the person that you want to be next. And I know you're saying, oh my gosh, I am tired of growth, but you signed up for it. And your humanity will always be too tight. So now we've got to figure out how to take comfort in that. That's the energy of snake medicine. So we shed environments, we shed beliefs, we shed relationships, we shed habits, not because it's bad or wrong or because we need to assign any of those things to it, just because we've outgrown it in one way or the other. And that's not one of those pointed at you, I outgrew you and I'm this and that. It's not any of that. It's just growth. It's just different. It just doesn't hold the shape of who we are anymore. We like to assign bad to those kinds of things that we had to get rid of. We like to say that they were bad because it feeds our ego, right? Because we don't have to admit to ourselves that we are in a place that is wrong for us. But it doesn't have to be bad. It's just, it's not necessarily, I keep reiterating it. I don't know who I'm hearing. But you're not wrong. You weren't wrong for any of your choices. You made exactly the right choices for the person you were. You did exceptionally well as a human with your set of circumstances. And now you've got a different set of circumstances and a different set of tools and more support and more knowledge. And you get to make different choices. And and you can trust yourself to make those choices because you're a different person now than the person that made the choices before, as a result of the right choices that you made before that now have you in a place that feels wrong. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so as this growth has happened, it's made you a person that is a little bit more like a snake, right? You are more sensitive to your environment as a result. You are more sensitive. You are more understanding. You feel more, heart cracked open more as a result of those choices, right? And it's just like a snake, right? Snakes are really aware of the environments that they're in. They are aware. I was with Bendy today, the python that lends us her gorgeous shed for our potion. And she, she was very aware when she was under her lamp, when she was out when it was colder. She was very aware of my crystals. She was very aware of who she was, slithering to here or there. They're very aware of their environment. And when you feel like the power of a snake, you feel the power of a python start to wrap you, you realize you can't make it do anything that it doesn't want to do. Like, it's just all muscle. Like, it's all, I don't know the word I'm searching for. It is all determination. You feel that energy. You feel that sense of power and self actualization that a snake holds, right? And they are keenly aware of their environment. They are keenly aware of the energy of the people that they are around. And aren't we all? Like, as a result of like a global pandemic, right? Aren't we all more aware of our environments and whether they're right for us, or people and whether they are right for us, or if we've outgrown them? Because like, we are at the point where even seeing the people that are very right for you is a calculated choice, right? Like going, if I go to see my best friend, it is a calculated choice. Who have I been around? What store have I been in? How much have I worn my mask? Like, we are having these decisions moment by moment of our environment and which environments nurture us the most and that are worth the risk. And, we are making decisions to only go places that feel very necessary, where we feel very supported, where we can be kind of our true self. And that's already kind of like snake energy, being very aware of your environment and whether or not it is serving you, and conserving your energy for environments that feel very, very right for you. That's part of the snake medicine right there. As I've been like channeling, it says in my notes, as I was channeling for this oil, but yeah, so that's my prompt. Like, as I was channeling for this oil, and let me tell you something, I have been after doing this oil for, oh gosh, over a year. I started looking for the snake to get the shed from. And then I was gifted a snake shed, and I was like, is this the shed for the oil? And it was not. Like, I still have that shed. I never used it to make an oil. And then when I got Bendy's shed, like, everything kind of aligned. It was all right. And so as I was like channeling for this oil, and especially over this last week, I also, side note, I was supporting myself as I was channeling, because I'll do that. Like, if I'm making something for you guys, then all your energy comes at me to transmute, because source wants me to be very, very clear about what you need. And so I have to do things that support me. And so one of the things that I did to support me was, if the energy of this oil is releasing what is constricting us, I bought a House of Hoodoo blockbuster candle, and I did the 5-day candle magic with the House of Hoodoo candle to support me as I was channeling to do this oil to support you guys. And one of the things that I realized in that practice of deciding that I was going to break through what was constricting me and understand what was constricting all of us, I realized and I lived out the fact that there's a real warning in using this oil. I was like, you have to tell them that there's a real warning here, because this is not like play kind of powerful stuff. You say, I want to break through what's constricting me, but I'm going to venture to say 99% of the time, everything that was revealed to me about what was truly constricting me was me. It's me. And I'm doing it. We constrict ourselves to keep ourselves safe. We constrict ourselves to keep our nervous system balanced, and all of that's okay. If you are not ready to make those kinds of changes, that all of that is okay. But this oil, I will tell you, will urge you to. It will urge you to. Okay. So that's the warning that comes with this oil. And it will urge you to look at your actions, your decisions, your perception. It's going to get you moving along. And of course, there's this vibration of joy in it. So it'll get you moving along joyfully, but you'll also see where it is you and what you permit that's constricting you more than anything else. And once you see that, then you're going to have to make some decisions. And the decision can be, I need that venom right now. I'm a little bit addicted to the dopamine and the adrenaline that comes with the emotional highs and lows of that relationship. So I see I need to let it go, but I think I'm going to keep it for a little bit longer because that feels good to my nervous system. Now, it is not easy work to have to say aloud to yourself that you are holding on to a relationship for those reasons. And by you, I mean you, not me. I might mean me. But But you're going to have those really cracked open conversations with yourself. You're going to have really cracked open conversations with yourself. My mama is passive aggressive, kind of cracked open conversations with yourself. I'm addicted to caffeine. Cracked open conversations with yourself. You're going to have those really cracked open conversations with yourself. And if you are not ready to do that, because let me tell you something, we all are looking for some relief. We are all looking for rest, that kind of thing. I give you permission to not buy it this time because it's going to urge you to have those conversations with yourself and start making those decisions. But what it will also do is make it easier to release the things that you are genuinely ready to release. That the parts that need to get shed that are really, really not serving you, they're just slowing you down. Those things, I will tell you, even in my own life, have fallen off a lot easier. Like fallen off in ways that they've not been able to fall off in 7, 8, 9 months. So it really, really is effective in kind of moving things around. But like I said, that's the warning. You're going to have to make some choices. So one of the lessons that we take from snakes is if the environment isn't correct, conserve your energy. So like if the temperature isn't right, a snake goes into energy conservation. That is one of the things that we're going to get from this oil. You want to expend your energy, not on fixing the old, but on building the new. Not on fixing the old, but on building the new. Where do we go with those questions? If you want me to really answer that, then give me a little more context and I will. You want to spend your energy not on fixing the old, but on building the new. And guess what? Even if nothing changes, right? That is a shift in perspective. Like if we think of something like, let's say our health or our physical bodies, instead of saying, say I want to build a bubble butt instead of fix my flat butt. It's the same butt. It's the same squats. It's the same squats on the same butt, but your perception of what you're doing has shifted from fixing the old to building the new. That's the invitation of this oil. It is an optimism, really, that comes with the transformation. The second one is that snakes shed their skin by moving forward, right? So the skin of the skin of the snake, as it outgrows it, the new skin is underneath, the old skin dries up, and then the snake just moves, it rubs, it continues doing its snake thing, and the old things, like the old skin, falls off. It's not like I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just make my old skin fall off. That's not the energy. The energy is move forward and building the new, and the old will fall away. Focus on adding instead of eliminating. Focus on adding things that make you feel productive versus eliminating procrastination. You see that little shift in building the new versus fixing the old. And then the third thing that this is going to do is remind you of your personal power. And every single element in this potion, and there are a lot of them, there are a lot of elements in this potion, but each element does that. It serves to remind you kind of your personal power. So let's talk about the potion. First of all, I will say this 100 million times. Potions are not perfumes. Potions are not perfumes. Potions are not perfumes. That being said, this one smells really good. And you can use it like a perfume. I didn't say that because potions aren't perfumes. Practical Magical Mel or Malia of Lunar Align, she's going to get me because potions are not perfumes. But this one smells really good. Smells amazing. So good. It is floral, so if you don't, you'll like this. Even if you don't like florals, you'll like this one. So it is floral. There's jasmine, but I'm going now through the elements of the potion and the vibration that they carry. Okay, so it's floral. So you've got jasmine, which is one of my favorite scents. Really beautiful, thick, sweet kind of scent. Jasmine is balancing for those of us who suppress desire. So if you fear, repel, or resist joy for fear of being overindulgent and not being right enough to get whatever it is that you desire, or not being right, I can't do this joyful thing because I might not be worthy enough or not be seen worthy enough for XYZ. I need to stay right. Like, Jasmine's going to help balance that out and allow you to embrace your desires, embrace joy, like decide what you really want and go after it. So that's the Jasmine. The chakra oils do too. Yes, they smell really good. There might be some extras on the website. So, of the chakra oils too. That's a surprise. So that's fun. Neroli is one of the essential oils in this. Neroli, also another kind of floral fragrance. Neroli stabilizes relationships and calms the heart. Okay? Neroli encourages us not to trade our inner peace for external peace. You know, a lot of times we will keep external peace and jeopardize our inner peace, and neroli keeps us from making that exchange and allows us to express ourselves so that it encourages true connection. And it's that true connection that comes from allowing ourselves to be seen, right? Like, you have to express, hey, this thing isn't working for me, and allow that other person to embrace it. And whether that's a boss or a lover or a family member or your child or whatever, allowing that other person to embrace who you really are, see who you really are, so that you feel truly loved. Because if you're suppressing who you really are, this is something that I read, I don't know where, maybe on at Create the Love, but if you're suppressing who you really are, it doesn't matter how much that person loves you, because you know they don't love the real you, so you never feel really loved. We got to stop that, y'all. We got to show up as our true self and risk rejection so that when we're embraced, we really feel like we are being embraced and not some version of our embraceable version that we gave of ourselves. That's a side note that wasn't in my notes. Lang Lang. Inner child healing. So when I tell you this potion is like covering the bases, it's covering the bases, right? Inner child healing, releasing emotional trauma, restoring the safety of play. Restoring the safety of play. A lot of times that perfectionist hiding tendencies that we had happened from childhood stuff, y'all, where we decided that we couldn't make mistakes, or we decided that we couldn't try things, or we decided that we would be better loved if we embraced what they wanted us to embrace versus who we truly were. So Lang Lang goes right into that inner child healing, restores the safety of play, like I said, halts overthinking and overanalyzing. Kids don't overthink and overanalyze. We get that overthinking and overanalyzing as a buffer to rejection so that we can shift our behavior in order to control how we are being received. And Lang Lang is going to help us stop that. Sandalwood. Sandalwood is for connection to source, for clarity, also root chakra support, your sense of safety and security in the world, and your sense of knowing that you can be inspired and transform without being abandoned, right? Because the jasmine's going to help you like embrace your desires, and the neroli is going to help you show up as who you are, and the Lang Lang is going to help you heal your inner child so that that's possible. And then the sandalwood, your root chakra is going to go like, "Wah, am I safe?" And the sandalwood will come and support that root chakra and let you know that you are safe, that you can make these changes, that you will not be abandoned, that you'll remain a part of the tribe and remain alive. Because in our DNA, like back in our animal brain, our amygdala, like if we're separated from the tribe, we die. If we're abandoned, we die. So that root chakra support that says you won't be abandoned, you're going to be okay, you can make these changes, you can have these conversations, that's there. Black pepper is in the potion. Smoked black pepper. Black pepper carries the energy of unmasking, reveals your own masks and facades, the things that you're using to hide aspects of yourself, encourages you to dig deeper into yourself and acknowledge your true thoughts and feelings so that you can deal honestly. And once you're dealing honestly, black pepper is known to ignite the soul's fire, is what my research book says. I loved that. Ignite the soul's fire. Okay. Which basically is the energy to accelerate your own healing and overcome challenges. So that's what the black pepper does. And then you have turmeric, which it's interesting because I had mixed the potion and I was just smelling it and I was like, it smells amazing, but there's no, and this is such a weird description, but I was like, but I can't smell the pain. I can't smell the venom. And so I came upstairs in my collection of essential oils, and I was just like, what do I pull that helps us put the depth in here that is honoring of the amount of inner work that we're doing with this potion. And turmeric, one of those notice what you notice, it jumped out at me, and I put 20 drops of turmeric in 84 ounces, and it just blew my mind. I squealed. And then after I'd added the turmeric, go back and look up I have this book, Emotions and Essential Oils. I go back and I look up in this book why Source had me add turmeric. And turmeric reaches into damaged and blocked aspects of the self, unlocks paralysis, releases you from feeling weighed down, assists those who struggle even with systemic barriers, and turns unconquerable obstacles into navigatable pathways. I didn't write that. That came from the book. But yo, that's why we had to add it. Are you kidding? We are sitting here as a collective fighting a systemic theme, fighting the venom in our society, figuring out how to use it as the antidote, taking things that we thought we'd never be able to navigate and navigating them, incorporating things that we never thought we'd know in our lifetime as a part of our new normal, figuring out how to grow and to love and to boss up and to live within all of that. And Source was like, can't leave that out. I mean, when it says reaches into damaged and blocked aspects of yourself and unlocks it, I'm like, oh goodness, that's why it was there. That's a lot of heavy work. So also in the potion, just because this doesn't have to be heavy, it's not going to be there's joy in growth. There's going to be joy in this work. There are Moroccan rose petals that are enchanted with the energy of pure love. I love you. I love you. And as I was meditating and enchanting the rose petals, I was just bawling because I could feel the layers and layers of disappointment in our hearts. I am talking to a group of people who have been disappointed again and again and again and again. And it is my highest intention of pure love that the rose petals can give you a sense of soothing balm to your disappointed heart, and that we can shift that into feeling more supported by Source. You also have sweetgrass, which also assists in the sweetness. And like you probably saw in the stories, I activated the sweetgrass one by one in a heart chakra candle. And both of those elements are here to kind of undergird that really deep, powerful work that we're doing and make sure you feel supported by Source. You feel loved. You feel ready. You feel guided. You feel all of those things that make the work joyful and not something that pulls you down and under, because that's not what this is going to be about. And then the crystal that's included in the potion is obsidian. Again, deep father protective energy. I've got you in my lap, baby, as you do this work. You are held, you are supported as you do this work. You are protected as you make these steps forward in transforming yourself and shedding what doesn't serve you anymore and releasing the things that constrict you. So good. I'm going to keep going. We got to go so fast. The 2 carrier oils, sunflower oil for optimism. Sunflowers turn and face the sun. When they don't have the sun, they turn and face each other. Grapeseed oil, which supports your connection to source. Grapeseed oil represents endurance, and grapeseed oil amplifies your intention. Speaking of that, every potion intention, yours plus mine, is an ingredient in the potion. I love that I am now a snake oil salesman. Snake oil salesman, that euphemism for like, oh, she's selling you something that doesn't do anything. We know that it does exactly what we want it to do because of the power of our intention, the power of our collective intention. And it's crazy because I posted the previews and you guys are already DMing me. Like, I can feel the power through the screen. And it's super, super powerful, beautiful oil. Real quick, suggested use. External use only, please. A little goes a long way. The perfume on this one, because of all the florals, is stronger than in the chakra oils if you got those. It is you're gonna want to use it less like a lotion and more like an enhancer. You are really gonna need just a little bit, and it goes a long way. So that's really amazing. It makes the value go through the roof because I didn't price it that crazy. I have loved using a little in a spray bottle with water. Like you guys know, I mist myself with rose water every day, and this just a little bit of spring water and a potion in like a spray bottle. I just got mine like from the Dollar Tree, and misting that in my hair, on my linens, on my face. I have loved it used that way. Amazing. Adding it to a moisturizer, and anointing shoulders and upper arms, especially your shoulders and your upper arms, just allowing yourself to feel supported and then feeling yourself like release what's constricting you and anointing yourself in that way. Really beautiful. Also, anointing at the nape of the neck has been really powerful. Believing that you are shedding what is old from the head down. And that's a really fun meditation, anointing at the nape of the neck, feeling all of any negative energy drain off of you, and then getting into the shower and refreshing yourself, refilling yourself from the top, just in visualization. So those are my suggested uses for the potion. It is 9:25, so we got through all of that. It took forever, but I am so excited to be able to share this potion with you, share the energy of snake medicine, understand that we are transcending whatever toxicity is all around us, that the venom and the antidote are the same thing, and that we don't necessarily have to replace to renew. Everything doesn't have to be different, because you can be different. You can be different, and that's all the different you need. So yay, we go together. I am sending my heart in those bottles. I ain't lying. It's a beautiful offering, and I am so proud of me and y'all for calling this forth. I am going to get off of these people live, and I'm going to turn it on the website. And like I said, there are a few extras of the chakra balancing ritual oils. I didn't have, I had some extras left over that didn't make full sets. And so I did list those on the site as well for you to order. And obviously you can combine other things in your purchases. So yay! And early next week, I'll have some other really fun announcements, including a way that we can work together and live out this intuitive life together. So excited. Yay. I adore you guys, and DM me as always. Love you so much. Talk soon. Bye.